that everything in digital investigation, e-discovery and cyber technology is related. But sometimes, perhaps, it can sound like a cacophony. But here at the Digital Investigations Conference in Zurich, Arina has collected a group of experts to tie it all together. One of the marvelous parts here at the Digital Investigations Conference in Zurich are the training days and the hands-on workshops in almost every area. The basics of digital investigations via practice labs, compliance workflows, digital fingerprints and forensics acquisition of websites and so on. We had the chance to chat with Markus Mosca and Roman Locher, the organizers of the event, to talk about the conference and their company Arina. Markus, forensic readiness, an expression that is being used since many years. What is your impression on the market situation today, and are corporates ready to do forensics?
Yeah, that word is used in many situations and communications and in the medias. Some companies definitely have a very good forensic readiness. They take it very seriously.
Yeah.
But I would say the spread is like 180 degrees. So you have like those which are perfectly prepared, have experience, and you have those which have it on the book.
Yeah.
But that's all. It's on a piece of paper, you know. So I can learn through phone calls, people each calling me and say, hey, we need help. And when I say, hey, how about forensic readiness? They say, yes, we have it on the book, you know, but it's just on paper, but not really implemented. So I would say a really minority of companies in Switzerland, which I know personally, have an excellent forensic readiness. With people that are educated, that are trained, that have a staff which know about it, and if something happens, they're ready. But then you have a lot of companies which know about it, but they don't put a budget on it. They talk every year and they push it out, right? They think, it's just money to spend, and we don't have an incident today. But finally, when you have the incident, everything tomorrow needs to be available for a trained investigator to all the infrastructure which you need, and then you have quite a big problem, you know, where there are different factors involved. Yeah, so it's quite far, and still a minority of medium to large companies really do forensic readiness. Yeah.
So as a CEO, what would you say? What are the strengths of Arina in this market? And what are your responsibilities?
Well, I'm coming out of the technical field, so I was a kind of a electronic engineer. For me, it's very important that we understand what we are selling and that we providing the customer a solution that he can use and helps with his daily work, so that he can have an efficient and successful work while he has to solve a problem. And the faster he can solve a problem, and the safer he is, and the safer his environment, a company, law enforcement has a problem to solve, to give us a safer world. Yeah. My responsibility is, I founded the company, I'm the CEO, and the main responsibility is to lead the company into the next century, to be sure, you know, that we can go on with the services and the delivery which we do today, that we can grow on that and offer to the local and organization like in Switzerland, like in Austria and Germany, the services, what is needed in the digital investigation area. We are today definitely the leader in Switzerland and Austria in that field that we are, and we are today from the knowledge base. We started with the digital investigation in 2001, so over 18 years we are having experience in that market, and we started with tool manufacturer like guidance software or access data or X-Ways, which were really in the beginning of this digital investigation cyclus in, and we could provide to the customer, to the end user, to the government, to the commercial organization solution, and not just a sales solution, so also a consulting, selling, After sales means support to the customer, answering questions, do training, so that the people which are having the product, having questions, can be answered here locally in Switzerland at Arina. We do kind of course, seminars, workshops. We invite companies to events where we do some education on what can happen. We also cooperate or work together with other experts in the Swiss or in the DACH market, and invite people which are in that field and to educate. Yeah, absolutely. Another important thing is where we take a lot of effort is to support Fachhochschulen, universities, where professors do education, and especially in that field. So we work together with the Fachhochschule in Biel, with universities in Lausanne, in Bern, in Zurich, where we do special special education package to support them with tools, with our manpower, with our CTOs, with our training people, to support them from the aspect of the real life, you know. Yeah. So like in the university, you always have this nice closed environment, safe environment, but then out in the field it's a little bit different, you know. And so in that part we support, or we like to help to support the university and the training schools. Yeah.
Great, interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roman, in your opinion, do you think that today's forensic products cover the challenges that digital investigators are facing in their daily work?
I do think they do a pretty good job, but you have to say it is a constant race between basically the side with the bad guys, let's say, and the solution makers that create the products to catch up. For example, about 10 years ago, there was a new field emerging, which is mobile forensics. It was very small, and it started to develop into a very big thing, and nowadays everyone is doing mobile forensics. Mobile forensics then, that led into things like car forensics or navigation forensics, and today car forensics, for example, is a new field, and we are at the very beginning there. So this is certainly a field where vendors can still improve. Yeah, we have solution on the market, and cars are supported to get data out of it, but they're mainly American products, so only American cars are supported. And this makes it certainly difficult in some areas for the investigators to have a good solution on the market to have their daily challenges solved. This market constantly develops new areas, and this also is a great opportunity for new players in the market. So new companies actually appear and they provide a certain solution. Yeah. In this last 10 years, that entire market grew so much. It became from a very small thing where you had 4 or 5 different vendors into a very diverse market that has opened up a huge new level. And you have specialists in all the different areas that cover these needs. At the end of the day, I see it as our challenge, Arina's challenge, to stay up with the market, stay up to date, go to conferences, see what challenges are on the market, what our customers tell us basically, what they're saying, like, oh, we need a solution for this and that is now urgent. That is what we see as our responsibility and what we do day after day. But at the end, or bottom line, yes, vendors do a very good job providing good solutions for the market, and they do accept the challenges and try to come up with a very good product, but they're basically a step behind. Yeah, it always takes some time.
So Roman, what are the factors that will most influence digital investigations in the future, and what challenges are ahead?
Yes, there are some big factors that will influence the future, and the first one to name, since a few years, it's the same one. It's the big data. The data has been growing over the past years just incredibly. Gigabytes are no longer a problem. Terabytes are no longer a problem, or let's say are no longer rare to see in the market as a case size. And a few months ago, we had a customer, and he said, "I have 3 petabytes of data in one case. How can I process it?" And this is possible, yes. Hardware vendors certainly say, oh, of course, you buy a lot of hardware and it's going to be possible. That's one side. Yes, I can scale this up and basically have an entire data center just for that case. we're not talking about the money part, but yes, it is possible. The question is though, how good are the software products and how far can they scale to that extent and actually overcome such a challenge? So the big data is certainly one of the number one problems. Another part though is encryption. More and more devices or software products or platforms encrypt their data, and sometimes they're developed pretty good, so there is no way around the encryption, or it takes a number of months, a number of years, or basically infinite time to decrypt that data. And as long as you're not able to decrypt the data, there's not going to be access to it. You won't be able to search it. You can't do anything with it. Another thing that we see that basically goes together with the big data. The more data you have to review, the more people at the end need to look at the data. So it's no longer one investigator that looks at a computer hard drive or a case, because there might be 10 hard drives, yeah? So it comes down to that you need collaboration, and you have 5 reviewers or 10 reviewers at the same time on the same case. And that then really depends on the piece of software that you choose, if this is even possible, and how good the software is to handle that. So I would say these are 3 main challenges that can be solved or battled, basically, tackled by the software vendors. And then there is another part, and as a last point, I will probably mention the legal side of things. New technology brings new challenges for the technical solutions, but also for legal parts. The data is spread across the planet, if you want it or not. If you have something up in the cloud, it goes into different countries. It probably has a copy in Russia, a copy in the States, maybe some part of it is in Switzerland, but you can't control it, and collecting that data is a legal challenge and needs to be checked on a case-by-case basis.
So Roman, as an organizer, what are your personal highlights of this year's Digital Investigations Conference?
It has been an exciting conference so far, and this year the location, as always, is great. We have been here for the last 4 years, and for me, maybe this year, what I see specifically is the mix of the audience that we have. We have people from the legal side, from the more e-discovery side, but on the other hand, we have law enforcement, government, military people here. And this is a really interesting mix, because you get to view basically at the same problems, at the same cases almost, but from 2 different angles. And even though there is probably some hesitation sometimes to talk to each other, I've heard people saying that they had great discussions with one another. For example, at yesterday evening's dinner and the drinks that we had. So I think this is one of the highlights for me. Also, in the same sentence, I would say that in general, this event is a great networking platform, also for the vendors, for the attendees, for the sponsors. It's a good get-together, and we don't have any other event in Switzerland that you can compare to this. Yeah. One of the main things that is also very good to see here at the event is the contribution of different speakers, independent speakers. Speakers that come from the UK, speakers from Italy, speakers from all kind of different countries. And we're a small community, and it's not just that here we have a conference and it's all organized and it comes from nothing. We need these guys, and I want to give a big thank you to all these speakers and sponsors that stand up on the stage and provide content. They prepare for this event, they invest time and are happy to share it with others. And I see that synergy at this event going pretty well. People that are speaking at some sessions might be an attendee in another session, and it mixes up, and that's just a great way to share their knowledge.